This ain't your ordinary football show. It's the Old Dominion Football Show with Bruce Rader and Coach Bobby Wilder. Brought to you by Priority Automotive.
After a disappointing loss at Pittsburgh, then a last-second win at Norfolk State, the Old Dominion Monarchs returned home to the friendly confines of SB Ballard Stadium, hoping to get their groove back against Rhode Island, and boy did they. A complete 66-14 romp over the Rams as the quest continues to be the first ODU team to go undefeated at home. But tomorrow, another chance to make history as the team makes its longest trip ever, 2,700 miles to take on Idaho with hopes of winning their first ever game against an FBS school. What are the chances of that happening? Let's find out. The Old Dominion Football Show starts now. I'm Bruce Rader along with Coach Bobby Wilder. And Coach, everybody had fun on Saturday.
Everybody had fun, including you,
me,
everyone else here. It was a great experience, Bruce. And to have 57 players play in this game, as you and I have talked about a lot, is as important as winning this year is also the development of this team. And those 57 players that played, we had 30 defensive players, 27 offensive players, and then 4 specialists that played in this game. So to get all those guys on the field, get that experience, and then to play a complete game like we did, I'm really proud of our effort.
Now, you scored 31 points in the first half, and
Right.
it would seem that the players could let up a little bit in the second half, especially at this point of the season when guys are getting banged up. But they didn't. They played through all 60 players, it seemed.
Right. Yeah, they did. I was really excited about that. The fact that you mentioned we're up 31-7 at the half, and we won the second half 35-7. We ended up winning 66-14, and we pulled almost all of the starters about midway through the third quarter. So to see players like David Washington, our backup quarterback, come in and really play well, our 5 backup offensive linemen, all the players on defense that got to play is so critical right now in this development. And then to play at a high level like we did, I was really excited about that.
So you're talking about all those players that played. You got about 90 players on the roster.
Right.
My producer and I, Brian Parsons, were talking about this last night. I know it sounds crazy, but do you and your coaches know the names of all these guys on the team?
We do. All 93 players that are on our roster right now, not only do we know their names, we know where they're from, we know their background. The one thing I'm really enjoying about this football team, Bruce, this is a very close group. The coaches, the players, the coaches, beyond just practice and meetings, they like to spend time over at our offices. We spend a lot of time just talking about life in general, and it's really exciting and what motivates me about what I do. When you get to spend the amount of time we do with this 18 to 22-year-old age group and you're shaping lives, it's exciting to get to know them beyond football.
And then you go home and forget the kids' names. Your defense seems to be getting better every week. I thought it was even better last weekend.
You're right, it was. We're making so much progress right now, Bruce. And when you go back the 4 weeks, go back to Liberty, we allowed 401 yards in that game, only 14 points. Then you go to Pittsburgh, we cut it down to 370 yards against an FBS opponent, and one of their touchdowns was after a long punt return. You go to Norfolk State, we only allowed 315 yards. Then Rhode Island, 268. So we're trending in the right direction, Bruce. 401, 370, 315, 268. The improvement on that side of the ball. And this is happening right now with 5 starters out on defense. Coach Nagy and his staff have done a good job educating the backup ones. We've got a lot of guys that are playing and contributing to this success, and I'm so excited about our future on defense right now.
Let me follow up on that, because all week on the Sports Wrap, I've been talking about how banged up you guys are.
Right.
Where are we tonight injury-wise?
Well, it looks like 8 starters will be out in this game, Bruce. We've got 26 players on the injury report right now. That's more than we've ever had. This reminds me back in 2010 when we were limping home at the end of the year. But what we're fortunate with is we've played so many new players. 34 new players to the program have played, so we've developed those backup ones, and we've got guys that have got game experience that can go in. I think we're going to get some of the guys back, Bruce, like Blair Roberts, who missed last week with a concussion. I think we're going to get Blair back. Dom Ginn-Bailey, starting defensive tackle, has missed 3 games. I think Dom's back. And then Larry Olson, who played so well at Pittsburgh, I think Larry's going to be back. So some of these guys are making it back.
Good news on that. Tomorrow a chance to make history again if you can beat Idaho, giving ODU its first ever win against an FBS school.
Well, that would be really exciting, Bruce. And when I look at this Idaho team, I see a football team that plays well at home, haven't played well on the road. They're going to have played, Bruce, at the end of their 12-game schedule, 8 bowl teams. So they've played a good schedule. This is their senior day. It'll be a challenge.
All right. Every week the running game seems to improve, and we see different guys putting up big numbers. This week, another local guy, Phoebus High School graduate Colby Goodwin. Chris Reckling has his story.
It may not seem like a lot, but at 1,490 yards, this past weekend, Colby Goodwin passed former Monarch quarterback Thomas DeMarco to become the Monarchs' all-time leading rusher.
People kind of laugh about it, like, yeah, you only have like such and such yards and stuff. Certain players get that in 1 year.
While the number is not huge, keep in mind the Monarchs' pass-happy style of play, and that Goodwin is all about team first.
I'm all about winning. Like, I could have 4 or 5 carries, and I might be a little upset, but as long as we win, I'm all for it.
Goodwin has found the end zone 8 times this season. Along with his career rushing yard record, he is the career leader in kickoff return yards, as well as the Monarchs' leader in all-purpose yards.
It means a lot. Coming in as a freshman, I always wanted to make my mark on this program.
The former Phoebus Phantom says playing close to home has been a dream come true, but unfortunately, that dream playing college football will soon be over.
The countdown began ever since the kickoff for East Carolina. So just looking back, I just felt like everything just went so fast. Just thinking about it, we was just driving down there to Greensville, East Carolina, and now we're going into last 3 games of the year. So yeah, it's been a very good ride. I'm gonna miss it. I'm definitely miss it.
In Norfolk, Chris Reckling for the Old Dominion Football Show.
Coach Colby sure has been a durable and versatile player during his career.
Yeah, he really has. I think back to 2010, his first season, and what he's accomplished in that time. At one point, he was leading the nation in kickoff returns in 2010. He's been so durable for us, and what he's done really well, Bruce, is what we ask of running backs. You got to be able to block and protect the quarterback because we only play with one back. You've got to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield. He's done that, and then he's been a very good runner. He's been an excellent player for us.
Protect Taylor Heineke. Protect Taylor Heineke. Right. Still to come, ODU's young defense continues to mature, and one of the reasons is this guy, linebacker Paul Moran, who dares to enter the 1-minute drill with Nathan Epstein, and Coach Wilder's priorities of the game for tomorrow's road contest against the Vandals of Idaho. Coach, your defense really has stepped up this game this past month, and linebacker Paul Moran is going to need all the experience he has, though, tonight to make it through the 1-minute drill with Nathan Epstein.
Hi, welcome back to the 1-minute drill. This time we have Paul Moran, linebacker for the Monarchs. And Paul, we'll start off with everybody on the team has a Bobby or a Coach D impersonation.
So I guess I gotta give you mine. Hey, guys, you get across the field, I tell you. Yeah.
You like horror movies?
No, not at all. I don't do those.
Why not?
I ain't got time. My sister got me when I was young. I don't watch scary movies no more.
What did she do?
We was watching Halloween, so that was when it was real scary. She chased me around the house with a knife, so I was scared. Never watched them again.
If you could count on anybody on the team to save you from a horrible predicament, who would it be?
Yeah, I just go with Kobe.
And if there's one guy that, if he wanted to save you, you would say, no, can you bring somebody else?
Aaron. There you go.
Thanks. You survived the 1-minute drill.
Thank you.
Paul is one of your seniors. What kind of leadership has he brought to your young defense this season?
Oh, Paul's done an excellent job. He's another guy, along with Colby, that has been with us for 4 years. He came from a winning program with Coach D at Phoebus High School, and he's just been a tremendous guy to have in front of the other players to see about what you need to do. And he's been involved in a lot of special memories with our program, Bruce.
These older guys have really come through during this transition year, haven't they?
They have, yeah. You think we've got 11 seniors right now out of 93 on our team, and these guys have had to be front and center and help us make it through.
You're lucky to have had them.
Sure
When
are.
we come back, we're going to open up the mailbag for this week's Coach's Corner and take a final look ahead to tomorrow's game against Idaho. Time to turn it over to the fans, the latest installment of the Coach's Corner. And the first question is from Stevie B from Virginia Beach. With the Miami Dolphins in the news, have you ever had problems with players bullying in the locker room?
We have not. We have a 27-page manual that I go over each year with our players in August when they report, and then again in January when they come back from Christmas break. And within that manual, it details all the rules of our program and what we're trying to do to get better. And one of them talks specific, Bruce, to bullying and making sure we have a culture and an environment within our team of caring, of nurturing, of taking care of each other. And with that, we've never had an issue.
Great. Next question. Stacy, also from Virginia Beach, wants to know, is anything going to be done to the visiting locker rooms next year to accommodate the extra players that the FBS teams are going to be bringing to SB Ballard Stadium?
Yeah, there is a plan in place right now that Dave Harnage, our Chief Operating Officer, is working on with Bob Fenning and Bruce Stewart and Wood Seelig. Everybody's involved in that. There will be some improvements made for when those FBS teams show up next year.
Don't make him too comfortable, though, Coach. No. Hey, Wendell from Norfolk wants to know, if you weren't coaching football, what would you be doing? Because he thinks you'd be a great sportscaster.
I like the way Wendell thinks. I'm having too much fun right now coaching. I look at it like I don't have a real job. You have a real job. I don't have a real job, but someday might be interested in that.
All right, please wait till I retire. Coach, what are your priorities for tomorrow's game against Idaho?
Oh, the number one thing that's got to happen, we have to get off to a good start. Idaho is going to be excited for this game. This is their final home game. They're going to honor 17 seniors, so good start. Number two, win the turnover battle. We did that this past week against Rhode Island. Our defense took it away twice, no turnovers for offense. And number three, play the next play. There's probably going to be 200 plays in this game. We've got to have that mindset and ability to be successful on the next play.
Final question, is this team capable of traveling halfway across the country and beating an FBS team on the road? And if so, what has to happen?
Boy, first thing we need is a geography lesson. I think this is more than halfway across the country. I'm saying Idaho, right next to Washington, 2,700 miles. This is going to be a long trip. I really feel like this is a game that we can be successful in, Bruce. Our kids are so focused right now. They want to do well. They're excited to cross this one off the bucket list, because when I asked for a show of hands in the team meeting, no hands went up on who'd ever been to Idaho. So we're excited.
All right, Old Dominion on the road at Moscow, Idaho.
Moscow, good job.
Tomorrow, kickoff, 5 o'clock Eastern Time. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate
Next
it.
week, it's back to SB Ballard Stadium. We're going to be looking for a 35th consecutive sellout. And join Coach Wilder and me every Friday night at 10:45 for the Old Dominion Football Show. Have a great weekend. Have a great win.
Thank you. Thanks to all the Monarchs.